in horror, the free world has watched the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And here in Denmark, we are following the events in your country very closely. We feel heartfelt sympathy for the Ukrainian people, and your leadership, President, in defending your country commands the greatest respect. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Unfortunately, I can't see you at the moment. Can we wait another second? Can you see us? Can you please tell us if you can see us? Okay, that will be enough for me. As long as you can hear us and see us, I can feel that the whole world can see us and hear us. Mr. Speaker, Madam Prime Minister, members of the government and of the parliament, Danish people, 40 missiles. This is the number of different lethal missiles on average that the Russian troops are using against our country, against Ukraine. This is the average number per day, 40. Over 1,370 missiles have already been used over this month of this large-scale invasion of Russia in Ukraine. This morning, Russian missiles hit one of our southern cities, the city of Mykolaiv, the city of shipbuilders. This is an absolutely peaceful city which only dreamed about one thing: to restore the glory of the center of shipbuilding on the Black Sea. As a result of this strike, the regional administration building was destroyed. As far as we know now, 7 people were killed, 22 were wounded, and people are still going through the rubble. There were no military ambitions in Mykolaiv. The people of Mykolaiv presented no threat to Russia, and even them, like all the other Ukrainians, became the target for the Russian troops, for the missiles, for the aviation bombs, for projectiles and mines. And the total number of means of destruction that the Russian troops have used on our land against their people cannot be calculated. But we can say that the intensity and brutality of hostilities that are being conducted against us have now reached a level that is higher than it was during the Second World War, which was the most ruinous war in Europe. 1 month of hostilities, and more than one city, not more than 2 cities have been destroyed. We have a whole list, black list of cities that were completely razed to the ground by Russian shelling. Another dozen of cities and towns and villages have partially burnt down residential neighborhoods. Infrastructure has been destroyed. Enterprises with people have been blown up. These were ordinary civilian people. Universities, schools, kindergartens that were destroyed. The number of those are 773. Can you imagine that? Dozens of hospitals, churches, even the Holocaust memorial became targets. The objective of the Russian troops in this war is to completely destroy any basis for a normal, regular life for the Ukrainian people. The occupiers consciously make it so that nothing remains in Ukraine, only ruins and only refugees. More than 10 million Ukrainians have already left their homes because of the hostilities. Over 4 million Ukrainians have left the country. It is mostly women and children. These people's stories are full of horror. In those areas where the Russian troops have entered, you will see on the curbside many blown up or burnt cars, hundreds upon hundreds of these cars or whatever remains of them. The occupiers were killing peaceful civilian people even when they were trying to escape. And with our refugees in Europe and also in the west of Ukraine, there are children who were simply picked up by other refugees on the curbside, by the bodies of their killed parents. In the city of Mariupol, that has been laid siege by the Russian troops for the last 3 weeks, there are more than 100,000 people still. While there was snow on the ground, people melted the snow, and this is how they got water. For this whole time, we were not able to send humanitarian convoys to the city. They're being blocked. Water, food, medication, all of this is being blocked by the Russian military. More than 90% of all of the buildings in Mariupol have been destroyed completely by shelling and bombs. But the Russian aviation continues to strike. They do not stop. They blow up even the shelters, while they know for sure that civilians are hiding there, women, children, and old people. What the Russian troops are doing to Mariupol is a crime against humanity, which is happening in front of the eyes of the whole planet in real time. Why did this become possible at all? Why can the world not stop this flow of military crimes committed by Russia that has not been stopped since the 24th of February of this year? The answer is very simple and cynical. People who approve the decisions made in Russia, they hope that this will go unpunished. The sanctions, they think they will be able to go around them. Embargo on Russian oil, they can see that it will continue. It will not continue further. It's just talk. It's just talk about this very important subject and concerns, the feeling of concerns. Everybody's expressing concerns. International Tribunal, they know that it will take years to bring the perpetrators to account. This is why we're talking to you and to all of the democratic community of the world. Sanctions against Russia need to be strengthened. We need to say no to the Russian oil. We need to block trade with Russia. We need to close down ports for Russian ships. And this needs to be a policy of solidarity in the European Union among all of the member states. You in Denmark, in this country, where basic principles of the European Union originate from the Copenhagen criteria, you understand how it is important that solidarity against Russia works. We need to bring pressure to bear so that Russia would seek peace, that we will protect the basic values that European life is built on, which have been completely trampled on by Russia in Ukraine. What can we say about the protection of human rights or about freedom on the European continent if there is no crime against humanity in general that has not been already committed by the occupiers? They are deporting our people to Russia by force. They are raping our women and our minor girls. They are looting. They have already taken into Russia more than 2,000 people. And we do not even know where they are. We don't even have a full list of these children. Do they have families? How are they going to find their families later? The level of evil that has been brought to our land is impossible to imagine for a normal human being. And this is why I'm calling upon you to raise the issue of solidarity at the level of the European Union for the sake of the protection of freedom and humanity. There cannot be branches of Russia in the European Union that are trying to compromise the EU from inside. They are still trying to help Russia to make as much money as possible. We all know who in the European Union goes against humanity and common sense, who is not doing anything to help bring peace back to Ukraine. This needs to stop, and Europe must stop listening to any excuses made for Russia. and the official Budapest. I am grateful to Denmark for its principled stance. I'm grateful to your people who are helping Ukrainians. I'm grateful to the companies who have decided to leave the Russian market. Maersk, Jysk, Lego, Vestas, DSV, Arla Foods, Carlsberg, and many other companies that have taken this important decision. But I'm going to ask you not to stop, to continue being leaders in Europe in promoting the important decisions that all of us need. Long before this war, it was evident that humanity needs to cut down on fossil fuels. The age of coal and oil has harmed our environment, our planet. It harmed it very seriously. Green technologies, green energy have become an obvious and fair response to this challenge. European European policy is already aimed at cutting down these dangerous resources. But the Russian aggression against Ukraine and against everything on which life in Europe is built is an argument to speed up this transformation. Europe needs to say no to Russian oil as soon as possible, because it is these windfall profits from the energy resources allows Russia's leadership to be so arrogant, to break universally recognized rules, to use hatred against our peoples and ruin lives in the neighboring countries. We need to find, if we wanted to find a diametric opposite to what you call the Yante law, it would be the law of the Russian oil. And I'm sure that only together with all of the Europeans, with all of the responsible states on this planet, we will be able to overcome this catastrophe. We will be able to go back to peace. We will be able to live together in a European family. I hope this will happen very soon, but it will depend on how consistent and how principled we're going to remain at this time, at this difficult time, at this time when the war continues. However, we do not have the right to think only about the war. We know that peace will come, and we know that we will be able to go back to a normal, peaceful life. And this is why already now I want to ask you to join our initiative to restore Ukraine after the war, rebuild Ukraine. Your companies, your specialists, your state, knowing your capacity and your economic and creative prowess, I will invite your country to take the leadership of one of our regions after the war. Mykolaiv, the city of the shipbuilders, could become one of such cities, a region that would unite us even more, and that Denmark could help to rebuild. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Denmark, it is a black time, a black hour for Ukraine. Thousands of candles are being lit in our churches to commemorate those people whose lives this war has claimed. I know that for you, the light of candle is the synonym of home comforts and a normal life. A life that in Ukraine today, for many, has become an unimaginable dream. The Russian invasion continues. But I believe, I know that we will be able to go back to peace. And today I would like to ask you that tonight, in your homes, you will light a candle to commemorate all of the Ukrainians whose lives have been claimed by Russian aggression. Eternal memory to those who have given their lives, laid down their lives for our freedom. Glory to Ukraine.
Jeg siger ikke tak til præsidenten, fordi linjen er kortet, men tak fordi, at I mødte frem så talstærkt. Og så lidt usædvanligt vil jeg sige, at vi begynder afstemningerne i Folketingssalen 13.15. Fortsat god dag til jer alle sammen.